Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Hello and welcome to the Schapera Show, where Viv and Neil explore this big adventure called life. Our guest today is Audrey Causilla, a composer, vocal coach, and devotional singer who released an album called Piano Improvisations, Journey to the Heart. And we are going to speak to Audrey about this and a whole lot more. Welcome, Audrey. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Vivian.
I'm so excited, Audrey, to speak to you here on the show because I've heard your music and it's just done so much for me and I can't stop thinking about it. And Audrey, I know you have a lot to share with us, so let's get right to it, okay? Let's begin by you telling us a little more about yourself, because this is always such an important place to begin.
Very well. Thank you, Vivian, for having me. And as you said, I'm a classical pianist, vocal coach, composer, and devotional singer here in Cincinnati. And my music spans from meditative piano music, soundscapes, so to speak, and devotional chant. And I'd say my aim is to transport the soul to a place of transcendent clarity, peace, and connection, whether it's through a recording or with a live audience.
Well, when you say that, it sounds so calm and peaceful, but does not convey the impact that I felt when I actually listened to your music. And so I do want to say to everybody that Audrey is not exaggerating, and you can hear by the softness with which she's speaking that Audrey is a humble soul, and everything she says you can probably multiply by 10, and that's what I'm going to keep urging you to do. I think you're a little bit shy about how accomplished you are, and I do want to share with everyone that the moment I started listening to Audrey's music, I was in what I call the zone, and this is something very special, and I wanted to ask you about that, Audrey. How is it that I just immediately went into the zone?
You know, it's a weaving of many facets of my life. I think I didn't realize that what I'd be offering now combines my classical training and this soul search for spirit, all that is, and that I would actually have an avenue, a way to share that with other people. And going into the silence is my habitat, so to speak. There's a fullness there that, unlike all the crafted compositions that were just towering over me, so many incredible goals as a masterworks, this was an opportunity to be led, to surrender, and have all that as a palette somewhere inside me, but see what would come. So I started improvising in order to maybe hatch a composition at some point, and then these improvisations seemed to be almost like a journal entry of my life. I had an initial album that spanned 15 years and had just different things, but this album came with a very specific intention at a time that was very difficult in the shutdown in 2020, and all my outlets were shut down of sharing music directly with people, and I just wanted to create something, a sonic prayer of sorts for the earth, for all beings, to send out love and support and whatever would help lift people's consciousness at a time that was very isolating.
And you're talking now about Piano Improvisation's Journey to the Heart, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And that is infused with something special, isn't it?
Yes. It's an unusual, kind of a pioneer project, you could say, of joining improvised intentional music with focused life force energy. It's a field that has that specific intent to support people's higher consciousness.
So this is like a technology that the FLFE field?
Yes, it is. It's engineered by my husband, Jeffrey Stegman, and his partner, Clayton Stedman. And it combines six different elements in the technology, but it functions a bit the way Reiki does, like between person to person. And they would call it a quantum technology that activates a high consciousness field in a specific location, like your home or your business. And it supports and raises the consciousness of not only the people, but the plants and animals and the whole property.
And that's infused into the music somehow.
That's correct, yes. So actually the sound files themselves, those are the identifiers for the field. So whenever anyone plays one, either on the MP3 or the CD, they get to experience the association in the space they're in. And so they'll be in a bubble of sorts while they're hearing the music.
Well, I'm very eager to talk some more to you about the actual way that you recorded piano improvisations and all of that. But I wonder, shouldn't we listen to some of your music first so that the audience can hear that?
Let's do that.
Audrey, this is also extraordinary for me, and I wanted to just know a little bit more about you. When did you first begin playing the piano?
At 9, I asked to do something outside of school. I was a bit bored with that. And my parents sat me down in the living room and said, okay, well, ballet or piano are your choices. So after 2 weeks of suffering through ballet, I said, piano it is. And
suffering through ballet.
Yeah. My flexibility is in my fingers, not in my legs, apparently. But much to my luck, there was an amazing teacher working with a neighbor across the backyard and coming to her, and she was trained by some of the most fabulous, iconic pianists in the U.S. And I started with her at 9, and she introduced me to her mentor, Leon Fleischer, at 11. And later I went to her conservatory where she had studied with him, Peabody Conservatory. So there was a brief group class I did at school, and the teacher went to my mother and said, you really should pursue something serious for her.
Yes.
So that was very sweet of her.
It's the backyard thing again. I mean, my thing, the Alexander technique, which I was looking all over the world for, was in my backyard. And then your thing, which you went to by default because you didn't want to play do ballet, you ended up playing the piano. I mean, it's amazing. It's just how destiny seems to work. It's so extraordinary. I love these stories. They're so wonderful. But I have to ask, do you play any other musical instruments?
I did discover the Indian harmonium. I call it a keyboard with lungs. It's a small instrument that you sit on the floor and play. And I also sing.
And you sing. And you do chanting as well, don't you?
Yes. I found mantra to be very stilling for the mind and discovered that you could sing it at an event called a kirtan. It's like a community call and response experience. And so some experiences led me to become someone who actually would lead that. I had a dear friend who passed away suddenly, and we used to go and enjoy that experience together of mantra. And soon after, in that grieving process, I was asked to sing some backup harmonies, do some recording, and then tour with Girish from Santa Cruz, an amazing kirtan singer. And it was part of how I mended my heart. And after singing for others for many years, I decided there was some music brewing in me to set these mantras to share.
And you did that, didn't you? Did you record
that? I did, yes. Yes, after 11 years, I released an album, Nakala Kirtan Live, which is, most of those were our Cincinnati folks that were at those events at Shine Yoga. And it was...
You're opening my eyes to all these things in Cincinnati. Or yes. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
A lot of sound healing here. World Sound Healing Day on February 14th, inspired by Jonathan Goldman. I produced and hosted those events. We had sometimes up to 200 people on Valentine's Day toning the sound for the whole energy grid, the whole frequency of the planet. And there's amazing healers like yourself in town.
Thank you.
Doing their work for the planet. It's been a great place to grow and deepen this part of myself.
I know people are always asking, why did you move to Cincinnati? And I said, well, Cincinnati called me from across the ocean, and I just went, then I must go there. And boy, has it turned out well for us. It's been extraordinary. But back to you. I want to know why you like the piano. What is it about the piano that's special to you?
It has to be the sound for me. This extended ringing and the range of sounds. Some people say it's the, aside from the voice, it's the most amazing instrument because it holds the whole orchestra inside of it. But also the way the sound, it seems to be able to stop time.
And I've heard you call the piano like a canvas, and I've heard you talk about your improvisations as sketching. Is that what it is? Why do you call what you do sketching when you think of someone and then you just improvise a piece around them?
Yeah, sketching, I guess it was an early term for improvising, or, as I say to my young students, making stuff up. Because like it's in our nature to create, whether it's drumming, whether it's melody. And I just started exploring what sounds I liked or what combinations of sounds I liked. And it definitely starts from the silence and then one note and then the next and how they relate. And then almost like a weather pattern. All these conditions form into a cloud, or the way wind will just start accelerating. As I'm playing, I might find a rhythmic groove or repeat a note, or a melody shape forms, and then what I love is that I can layer them together. I can have a melody going on in one hand and then a rhythm in another, and use the sonorities that I love from classical music, from jazz, from world music, from indigenous music, and yet be totally open to something new, and maybe one note off what my conventional ear would see as, it's like the happy ending of a movie. Well, maybe you want to delay that a little bit. Maybe that's where the interest is. I loosely call it a series of happy accidents.
Yes, a series
so
of
it's
happy
sketching
accidents.
because each moment leads to what the next one can be.
And what about your CD, Piano Improvisations, Journey to the Heart? Can you tell us how you did that and how people are responding? That's also important.
Yeah, I didn't mention this to you before, but I was music director at Center for Spiritual Living, and every Sunday for 8 years, the minister would ask me to just play transparently underneath his message in a meditation. And so I would listen to the words, and I would almost listen for how few notes I could play, because I didn't want to distract from what he was channeling. So it became this like marriage of, kind of the energy of the message, and that really helped prepare me to be vulnerable, to play so few things and trust that it would come out. And people would comment, how peaceful it made them feel. And so with this CD, I've had a similar feedback. One of the first ones, which was extremely humorous, was to get an email from a gentleman in India saying that he used to have road rage, but he doesn't have it anymore because he plays the CD in the car. I was excited to sell a CD in India, but also that's a pretty concrete statement.
That's very powerful. I mean, that's quite an impact, reducing road rage.
Yeah, and others
donate your CD all over the world.
Yes, I mean, Focused Life Force Energy has customers in over 70 countries, and because it's being offered to them, it's such a blessing to share this music in so many places.
Audrey, before we run out of time, let's actually share with everyone how you spell your name and how they can get hold of your music and how they can find out more about you, because I'm really anxious that we make sure we let people know.
Sure. Yes, my website is just my name. It's AudreyCausilla, AudreyCausilla.com. And I do ship the actual CDs anywhere in the world. And the CDs and MP3 downloads are available at that website. And otherwise, the MP3 downloads are available anywhere you can buy streamable music, like iTunes, Bandcamp, Amazon. Yes. And the Kirtan CD is streaming on all the streaming platforms. It's called Nikala Kirtan Live, and that's also under my name. Is where you'll find all my streams.
And can you spell Mikala for everybody, please?
Sure, it's Mekala.
That's Mikala Music by Audrey Causilla. Now, Audrey is spelled in the regular way, and Causilla is Causilla. So AudreyCausilla.com is where you can find out more about you. Is that all correct?
It is, yeah. Thank you, Vivian.
Okay, so that's excellent. So now I want to just ask you whether this disappearance of road rage and the other feedback that you're getting from people in their response to your CD, is that in alignment with your intention?
Very much so. I wanted to mention someone else recovering from colon cancer. He said that he he's a pianist friend. He wrote to tell me that it helped him with his pain. It helped relieve it quite a bit in his recovery. That was very moving to hear. An unusual effect was a researcher, Dr. Gary Schwartz, University of Arizona, saying that he plays it constantly when he's doing data analysis because it helps him focus and just be in his zone to do his work. So I would say that everyone is going to receive this kind of offering very uniquely to them, just how we each find different things meditative. And when asked this question, my intent was very much just to be a conduit for what was going to provide assistance to people and whatever was going to flow the most love and positive energy. And so I think if I had anything more methodical as a goal, it might not have worked the same way as I look back. So I think just staying open was the way to go.
I think there's this quality that you convey of being open, spacious, and then the listening impulse is so very strong in you. You have a way of getting me to listen differently, and I think your respect for the listener is very palpable in the way that you're working and even in the way that you describe your work.
Yeah, I think there, we were speaking of energy and the energy of music, and there is this, it's not just a saying about the silence in the sound. I think there is a frequency, like an undercurrent, even, I remember hearing it as like music of the spheres, this kind of sound that was just inside of everything. Well, I think there's sound inside of silence, and when we interplay with that, it is a transcendent experience, not just for the listener, but for me it was as it's happening as well. And because I don't remember any of it, when I hear it, it's like a new, fresh thing falling on my ears. I don't recall at all what happened.
This is fascinating. Everyone, we are listening to our guest, Audrey Causilla, an improviser, composer, vocal coach, so many musical things. And we're going to talk to her more after the break. And please join us again here on the Schapera Show, where Viv and Neil explore this big adventure called life.
Imagine taking a journey with metaphysical teachers and spirit guides right in your own home. Well, now you can with Vivian Schapera's book, Everyday Magic. Everyday Magic helps you understand your life from new perspectives as it guides you to feel motivated to take control of your life and your future. Get Everyday Magic today at Amazon.com, or for more information, visit Schapera.com or call 513-891-8062. That's 513-891-8062.
VMware is a fresh perspective for virtualization on the cloud. Shaping the future, this all in one platform delivers virtual cloud service on any cloud. Visit our HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on VMware.
CrystalHealingTechniques.com is the place to learn crystal healing, and there's even some free courses and certification. CrystalHealingTechniques.com has courses from beginner to advanced, and you'll learn from a master crystal healer. Explore new and unique material as you learn from the amazing award-winning textbook, The Complete Guide to Crystal Surgery. So discover the world of healing through crystals at CrystalHealingTechniques.com. Visit CrystalHealingTechniques.com or call 513-891-8062.
If you're not in the U.S., listen up. SureTrader is one of the most trusted and reliable names in share trading. With 6-to-1 leverage and other perks, SureTrade is the best for penny stocks and day trades. To find out more, visit our advertiser page and click on the SureTrader banner.
If you like this program and you want to hear more of the Shaperas, then tune in to their YouTube channel called Crystal Surgery and Crystal Healing Techniques. There's demos, meditations, interviews, and more on their YouTube channel, Crystal Surgery and Crystal Healing Techniques. So relax, enjoy, and learn unique material as you watch the Shaperas in action. Visit today on YouTube, and remember that channel, Crystal Surgery and Crystal Healing Techniques. Do it now. There's a respected metaphysical academy that's been around for over 22 years, and it's still going strong. If you're interested in energy healing, crystal healing, developing intuition, or shamanism, then the Four Winds Academy for the Healing Arts and Sciences is exactly right for you. With in-person and online classes and full certifications, their experienced teachers work with you and take an interest in your progress. To find out more, visit fourwindsacademy.org. That's the number 4windsacademy.org. Or call 513-891-8062.
Expanding your mind. HealthyLife.net.
Hello and welcome back to the Schapera Show, where Viv and Neil explore this big adventure called life. Today we are interviewing Audrey Causilla, a composer, vocal coach, and devotional singer who released an album called Piano Improvisations, Journey to the Heart. Audrey, I mentioned this before the break, and I want to follow up with it, but when I'm listening to you speaking and when I'm listening to your music, I sense a humbleness, and I wanted to explore that a little because I feel there's a story behind it. Can you explain?
You know, when you're young and you have these classical masterworks, you feel like you're in service to them to a great degree. And I think I've also always been a collaborator. You know, I've been an accompanist to others, and so I found my way to lead that way. Just by being my authentic self, and it's one of service and one of collaboration, and I feel like it serves me very well.
I can really understand what you're saying, because I remember when I was training as an Alexander teacher and I was in the presence of Walter Carrington in London, and you just think, who can I be to assume to be like this? And when you're talking about music and the classical composers and the masterworks, then that's what you're looking at, isn't it? I need to cough. Excuse me a moment.
Sure.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have a little frog in the throat.
It's okay.
So I think that's some kind of thing to do with needing to talk about channeling. So do you feel like you're a channel for the music?
Yes, I use that term loosely because I want to be as out of the way as possible, but I guess that's what it means to be a channel, I suppose.
And do you use your classical training? Do you use that in the way that you play your music?
You know, even when I played classical music, I was very open to a timelessness there. And I've always wanted the classical pieces to come out as new, fresh inspirations, like maybe how they just hatched for the composer. Because I thought, you know, even if I've practiced something for 20 years, I try to play it as an open, channeled way as possible. So it's kind of like they're mutually happening. And then when I'm improvising, I'm trying not to hear ideas that I've ever exposed myself before. On the contrary, I'm trying to hear something fresh, but also not trying too hard. So it's a mixture of just being open, and it's playful, and it's peaceful, and I'm really in a safe place of just being myself and exploring.
And is this how piano improvisations was created? Can you tell us about that? Because I think
Sure,
it's pretty special, and if you can share the details, it would be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. I started with a very, actually, an invocation out in the space, an audible intention, asking for assistance, anything that any being would need, and for great energy and love to flow through what would come through me. And the first song, The Beacon, is that call. It is that sonic prayer. It's opening a field in a certain sense, opening the music field. And then when that one was done, and they are all around 8 to 10 minutes. There were 8 of them, and honestly, when I sat down with my engineer, I didn't know how long any of them would be. I didn't know how many there would be. I didn't know if there would be an album. I had never actually done this before, and I had, it felt like a big deal to have an engineer here, and I've bought equipment. But they seemed to know when they were each finished, around 8 or 10 minutes. And after the first one, my engineer turned around. He was faced away from me, and I noticed there were tears streaming down his cheek. He was very moved, and I thought, okay, well, maybe something good is happening here. And I wanted a little bit more energy, on the second one, so I thought of the elementals, the berries, and this kind of, I invited a lot of images. I didn't have any pre-planned, but then I remembered some beautiful eagle photography. The soaring one is kind of like depicting their wings spread open. And then the last one, called The Beloved, unexpectedly, it contains bits of several of other ones, and I didn't realize that when I was done. My engineer said, "Did you realize that you contained a few of the others in this one?" So it's kind of like after the opening of the field and the journey and kind of relating to all these different things, we return back into this stillness in the heart, which maybe was always there, but after the journey it's maybe deeper. So that one I called the Beloved. And the titles came after the fact when we were going through the editing, and they were inspired by some of the images that happened. But there were no restarts or edits, or literally just every note you hear is what happened, and there were no changes.
It's kind of like a sand painting. You just laid it down, and that was it. No editing, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And had the good sense to get it recorded so it exists. And otherwise it wouldn't have, because you don't have a way to remember these improvisations. They're something that happen in the moment, don't they?
Yes, yeah, it's about being present to the now.
Oh, it all just sounds so magical. It sounds so magical. Audrey, I'm so impressed with all of this and everything you're saying, everything that you're doing. I wonder whether you'd like to share with us, what do you think the universe is asking us to notice at this time in the world?
At this time of so much acceleration and so much technology, like you said, I feel, for me, there's a strong message to slow down and to stop even, and just really inhabit the heart and really try to live from the heart, and to listen to that deep discerning, that the inner truth that might be there, and that not everything is as it seems in the external, whether it's on the small scale of like this moment, like am I here doing things, or am I just the result of something appearing in consciousness, or all the way to the large arena events that we're seeing. And that, no matter what it looks like, and no matter how many things are predicted or we have this divine spark. We are that, and that's the most precious asset. And what my music has facilitated for me is being able to connect with my community, and I think that will be the saving grace.
Yes.
So that's what I'm aiming to do in every way, and by doing this interview, you're facilitating that. So I'm so deeply grateful for you sharing.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you. Let's tell everyone how they can get hold of your CD and find out more about you. If you can just say your website again, and then we'll have to break. So go ahead and just say how to connect with you.
Great. Yeah, it's audreycausilla.com, so AudreyCausilla.com, and I'm Audrey Causilla Music on Instagram, and you can get the CDs on my website, but you can get the downloads at iTunes, at Amazon, Bandcamp.com, under my name, Audrey Causilla. And as I said, the mantra music is streaming on Spotify and Tidal and all those good places under my name as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, Audrey. Everyone, you have been listening to Audrey Causilla, and she's a composer, a vocal coach, a devotional chant singer, just all kinds of things musical. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for joining us. And when we come back after the break, Neil will be giving his spirit reports.
CrystalHealingTechniques.com is the place to learn crystal healing, and there's even some free courses and certification. CrystalHealingTechniques.com has courses from beginner to advanced, and you'll learn from a master crystal healer. Explore new and unique material as you learn from the amazing award-winning textbook, The Complete Guide to Crystal Surgery. So discover the world of healing through crystals at CrystalHealingTechniques.com. Visit CrystalHealingTechniques.com or call 513-891-8062.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Hi there. Welcome back. You're listening to the Schapera Show, and I'm Neil, very pleased to be sharing with you my shamanic journeys to the spirit realm and reporting back on the guidance I receive directly from the spirits. The purpose of this journey for today is to travel to the spirit realm of the upper world and request that the spirits give me guidance around interesting information that they gave me on my previous journey. At the end of the last journey, the spirits showed me that in the seemingly dark interior of a church, there were in fact flashes of light representing the spiritual light that does exist in the world, even though they had focused on showing me a deconsecrated church to indicate a spiritual famine on earth. They then showed me pews lighting up with flashes of spiritual light. So I'm traveling upwards from the mountain ledge, traveling up, pleased to have my energy beam to travel alongside, being guided and propelled upwards. I put out my request that the spirits show themselves in the upper world and that they are there to give me guidance around this topic. Far above me, I see the steps that I've seen before, the pinkish marble-like steps which are one entrance to the upper world. I'm barefoot and the steps are quite cool under my feet. I walk up these curving steps, just waiting to see what I will be shown, not making any assumptions. And I put out the statement, I've come to the spirit realm to request more guidance about that last image that I saw on the previous journey, the flashes of light around the darkened pews. the spirits are immediately telling me that one absolutely must not become despondent. It's just not a constructive feeling to go into, and that in fact there is a huge amount of goodness in the world, of kindness. At the end of the day, kindness and spiritual evolution are what counts. I'm on the outside of the church, and there are these big dark wooden doors. I push them open and go inside, and what on the previous journey had been a dark space with dark wood pews is now quite brightly lit up. It's almost hard to see properly because it is bright and there are colored lights. I'm being told that goodness is everywhere, and that it's actually not at all desirable to focus on lack of goodness and lack of spiritual connection. That's not moving forward. Above all, one wants to move forward constructively, helping oneself and helping others. If you look at photos of Earth taken from space station, you see the lights of cities everywhere. Yes, there is darkness, and then there are other areas where there is lots of light, and the Earth is like a jewel. The spirits are saying that that is what we should endeavor to be a jewel in the darkness, a light in the darkness. Part of that is just in our ordinary, everyday interactions with people, to be patient, to listen, to be supportive, and to remember that each person that we are interacting with is another human with feelings and wishes, hopes and dreams, and of course they have had disappointments and pain, and that they have limitations based on their upbringing. It's so easy to notice limitations and put our focus on the limitations of other people, and not also remind ourselves of the richness and the goodness that is there in most people. I ask the spirits, can you show me or tell me more about the flashes of light that do exist in the world? And the spirits say, of course, society has not broken down. We are not running wild in the streets, stealing and hurting and misbehaving. The thread that holds a society together is actually quite delicate. And for the most part, society is holding together. And that's a testimony to the goodness of people being displayed and manifest. Where we can, we should join in with other people and groups who are doing good things in the world. And there are volunteer organizations for feeding the hungry, sheltering the homeless, raising money for good causes, and publicizing the needs. There is plenty that we can participate in if we want to. They're saying, the spirits are saying, don't get despondent. It's so easy to focus on what's not working properly. There's no lack of that, but we should move away from that focus. And I say, I'm not sure whether this is the essential point, but what can people do to make the world a better place? The answer is, be kind, be patient, and listen to people. And there is also an aspect of just getting over the feeling of not wanting to do something. One might feel that one doesn't want to spend time and energy on something, but this is not a feeling to follow. Disregard the feeling of resistance and just go do it. It will turn out to be worthwhile and positive. It's the feeling that must be overcome. Don't get held back by a feeling. And all the while the drums are still beating in the background, and I ask, what else is there? And the spirits say, this guidance of don't get held back by a feeling goes for everything that we know that is positive, like doing exercise. We know it's positive, but we may have obstructive feelings. A feeling usually feels valid and legitimate and true. However, we shouldn't act on those feelings most of the time. They then showed me Christmas trees all beautifully lighted with decorations and a menorah with glowing candles. And they say, let oneself express good cheer. And I think what they mean by that is happiness, that we do have happiness inside ourselves, and we should express it. It might not be our only feeling. We may also have feelings like sadness and despondency, but we should let our happiness breathe and show it in the air. The spirits say that good deeds can flow from a moral sense, a moral code, like do unto others as you would have them do unto you, but also good deeds can flow from your spiritual light that is alive and well inside one. This flame of spirituality is the fuel for good deeds. And we have to be good to ourselves. We're so judgmental, certainly of other people, and we tend to be very judgmental of ourselves. And that dims the light that we can put out into the world. And that's actually, they say it's a spiritual crime or a spiritual transgression to dim our light as individuals, to not shine our light into the world. And they say that what's really important is that we help other people be safe around us. That when we communicate safety, other people relax, and in feeling that relaxedness, there's actually very positive spiritual implications. And we're going to talk more about this, I think, on the next journey. This is really interesting. So the drums change, and they call me back. I leave the church, go down the stairs, go down the thread quite quickly, and then arrive back in the middle world onto the mountain ledge. And I thank the spirits for a very illuminating journey. So, thank you. You've been listening to Neil of the Schapera Show, and we're going to go on our break now. And when we come back, Vivian will continue with her messages from crystals.
If you like this program and you want to hear more of the Shaperas, then tune in to their YouTube channel called Crystal Surgery and Crystal Healing Techniques. There's demos, meditations, interviews, and more on their YouTube channel, Crystal Surgery and Crystal Healing Techniques. So relax, enjoy, and learn unique material as you watch the Shaperas in action. Visit today on YouTube, and remember that channel, Crystal Surgery and Crystal Healing Techniques. Do it now.
You have too little time to shop, so try Farm Fresh to You. They deliver organic food the way nature intended, delivered straight to your home or office, economically. Visit our web advertiser page and click on Farm Fresh to You now.
There's a respected metaphysical academy that's been around for over 22 years, and it's still going strong. If you're interested in energy healing, crystal healing, developing intuition, or shamanism, then the Four Winds Academy for the Healing Arts and Sciences is exactly right for you. With in-person and online classes and full certifications, their experienced teachers work with you and take an interest in your progress. To find out more, visit fourwindsacademy.org. That's the number 4windsacademy.org. Or call 513-891-8062.
Get high-quality glasses, sunglasses, and prescription lenses at eyeglasses.com. Choose from over 250,000 items and 400 brands. Already have frames? Get replacement lenses. It's easy. Go to our advertiser page and click eyeglasses.com.
Imagine taking a journey with metaphysical teachers and spirit guides right in your own home. Well, now you can with Vivian Schapera's book, Everyday Magic. Everyday Magic helps you understand your life from new perspectives as it guides you to feel motivated to take control of your life and your future. Get Everyday Magic today at Amazon.com, or for more information, visit Schapera.com or call 513-891-8062. That's 513-891-8062. CrystalHealingTechniques.com is the place to learn crystal healing, and there's even some free courses and certification. CrystalHealingTechniques.com has courses from beginner to advanced, and you'll learn from a master crystal healer. Explore new and unique material as you learn from the amazing award-winning textbook, The Complete Guide to Crystal Surgery. So discover the world of healing through crystals at CrystalHealingTechniques.com. Visit CrystalHealingTechniques.com or call 513-891-8062.
Where positive people and radio unite. HealthyLife.net.
Hello and welcome back to the Schapera Show. This is the part of the show where I, Vivian, talk to crystals and about crystals and see what wisdom and insights the mineral kingdom has to share with us. Today I'm speaking to golden healer quartz. Golden healer quartz is quartz that has a golden color covering either all or part of the crystal. So even if you've only got a little dab of the golden healer color, that makes it a golden healer quartz. But some are completely coated and some just have spots. It is important to distinguish golden healer quartz from citrine. Citrine is quartz that is a yellow, orange, or even a yellowish green color, and the entire crystal is that color. The whole structure, every cell of that crystal is suffused with that color. Golden healer quartz is a coating on what would otherwise be clear quartz. The coating is thought to be an iron hydrate. It seems obvious now that the golden healer quartz has pointed it out to me. But this makes golden healer quartz nature's own aura quartz. What is aura quartz? Aura quartz is quartz that has been coated in a laboratory to make it a different color. For example, aqua aura quartz is coated to make the quartz an astonishing blue color. Flame aura quartz is quartz that has been coated to make it shine with a rainbow of colors ranging from gold to purple. Aura quartz is very beautiful and very attractive and very popular, and there's a reason. It synergizes human technology with nature's technology, offering some very interesting properties. But today we are delving into golden healer quartz, which has to be credited 100% to nature. When I look around my house and my office, I see that unbeknownst to me, I have actually been collecting golden healer quartz rather systematically. I wasn't consciously aware that I regarded golden healers as a personal collectible, but the evidence is now staring me in the face. At my computer desk, I have a copper vase with multiple diamantina crystals standing upright in it, and 2 of these are golden healers. On our family altar for our living relatives, I have a very amazing golden healer cluster. It's rare. You see, a golden healer, they don't usually come as clusters. And on our family altar for our departed relatives, I have another very amazing golden healer cluster that looks like a family standing together for a photograph. I have 2 large and extra fantastic golden healers, one a candle quartz from Madagascar, and the other is a long, slender assegai of a crystal from Zambia. And I use those to support chakra layouts in my healing sessions. Then also on my desk at work, in the most prominent possible position, kind of right in the middle of a very big window, I have another extraordinary golden healer. And you see I'm using amazing and extraordinary over and over again, and that looks like an intricate sculpture. Up close, it's a gorgeous crystal, even has a curve in it. But from 10 foot away, it looks like a hand making the OK gesture with light rays emanating from between the index finger and thumb. When I am working, I'm frequently looking at that work of art, and I feel both encouraged and inspired by the universe. What's interesting about all of these stones is that I feel blessed to have them. Of course, I feel appreciative of all my stones, but this blessed feeling has a different nuance when it comes to the golden healers. It is this nuance that I want to ask Golden Healer Quartz about. When I ask Golden Healer to explain, this is what it says. In the Bible, Joseph was chosen as a leader, and to signify this, he was given a special coat, the coat of many colors. If you look at every culture in the world, important roles in society are distinguished by an outer coat. Doctors wear white coats. Shamans wear special outfits when performing their work. Kings wear ceremonial capes and crowns. Religious leaders wear vestments. My coating and my name, Golden Healer, designate the very special role that I have as a healing crystal. My golden color relates to the higher color of the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is yellow, and its higher color is gold. The solar plexus is the chakra that connects us to the astral plane, eternal home of our souls. This is one of the reasons that you have chosen me as your stone for your family altar. I connect souls, and I also can heal souls. If someone is suffering from soul sickness, then I am definitely one of the stones that can help. And I probably don't need to point out to you that many are suffering from soul sickness at this time due to challenging global events. Wow. I'm just blown away by this message. Now all the puzzle pieces regarding Golden Healer Quartz can fall into place. I especially understand why I feel so strongly about the sculptural piece on my desk. It is supporting my soul, encouraging me on my life's journey. I can also interpret what it specifically means when I'm guided to place Golden Healer Quartz in a chakra layout. It means that the healing session needs to penetrate beyond the energy system and reach the soul of the client. This is a whole new layer of understanding for me. Now I ask Golden Healer what message it wants to share with you, and it says, all that glitters is not gold. That is a saying in your world. And I, that's Golden Healer, wants to add that in fact gold does not glitter. There is nothing wrong with glitter, or bling as you call it. It's very nice, but it is ornamentation and a surface dynamic. If you want depth and profound truth, look for the coat that signifies the qualities you seek, and look also for transparency, because transparency denotes honesty. That makes me feel like Golden Healer Quartz is watching us and what we are getting up to here on Earth. And as Golden Healer witnesses my reaction, I hear it say to me, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to support and heal. What a great reminder. That's how I want to be in myself. I too want to be a golden healer, and I don't want to judge. I want to support and heal. Perhaps Golden Healer is one of my signature stones. How great is that? Thank you, Golden Healer Quartz, and thank you everyone for joining us here on the Schapera Show, where Viv and Neil explore this big adventure called life. Please join us again next month and every month. Thank you.